fumbled the ball again.
The Dallas defense is just demoralized.
Clearly, this is really a bad football team.
It's hard for me to get excited about the fact that we're better than anybody.
It was just as ugly as it looked.
Cowboys quarterback tonight is a rookie 7th-round draft pick.
And Danucci's hit and buried. He's not played well.
Well, I think that it was a lot for him. It was, frankly, more than he could handle, except to win a ball game like that.
So, taking a look at the Dallas Cowboys this season, there's a lot of never-evers up there, and it's not good, Michael. Just in terms of the Cowboys this season, giving up yards and points at quite a clip, and that's why you've got Champ, your emotional support, Dallas Cowboys stuffed animal dog right there on the desk with you for this conversation. Is it indeed time to rebuild in Dallas?
Rich and Champ, Rich, the only thing is time to rebuild, honestly, and not make light of it, is Dak Prescott leg, Dak Prescott contract, and get Dak Prescott back and get everybody back and move forward. You're not talking about rebuilding this whole squad. That's not, the Cowboys are not there. Offensively, they were in a great place. I know they weren't winning games and making some mistakes offensively, but defensively, they need to build that defense. You get those guys back healthy. We're not talking about rebuilding. You got to restart. You need a restart, but not a rebuild. Just get Dak back healthy.
Absolutely, because you're talking about when you look at this roster on offense, if they're healthy, and we have good doctors over there in Dallas, and Dak's going to be back, all right? He's going to find his way back on the field next year. And you get those two tackles, Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins and Brandon Knight. I mean, they're going to be back, too. They're all under contract except for Dak. They'll get that worked out. This offense with those receivers and running backs, very, very talented. They just need to rebuild or retool or whatever you want to call it, the defense. Right. Use the entire draft on young, good, fast defensive players. They're last in scoring defense. They're last in run defense. Yeah, go get a defensive tackle and an edge guy in a corner or maybe another safety. Go bolster up your defense. But you know what? On offense, when they're healthy, look out. They're as talented as anybody in the league.
And we throw out that term rebuild. And to me, that's usually, oh, we're old and we've got a lot of guys that have been in the league and done it. And so we need to move on. And as you said, Coach, get younger. When you look at this team's young. I mean, they got two linebackers, young guys. DeMarcus Lawrence, young guy. I know they're young on the secondary in terms of experience. I mean, offensively, you got Gallup, you got C.D. Lamb, and Amari Cooper's not that old. Zeke's not. I mean, this is not an old football team. You just went and signed a bunch of these guys because they're young, good football players. And so when you say rebuild, what does that look like? First, I'm with you, Irv. You got to find your quarterback. You've got to lock in your quarterback. If it is Dak, which I believe and most people believe it should be, lock him up. You need to get that guy done. And the only other place I think about rebuilding is you say, well, we just hired a coach. Is the coach the right coach for what we have and what we're trying to build? If he is, then I don't think there's any rebuilding to do. You just have to play better football. You've got good football players in terms of talent, but you've got to play better and put that all together.
What if he's not?
The coach? Exactly.
I mean, let's just be honest here. I mean, that's the conversation that's going on. If it's not the coach, it's the assistants, and it's just the whole power structure that's been set up there. What if that's the question?
And again, I'll grade that now. How do you measure how do you measure him with what we have, what's going on now in the field?
And I think you just have to, and I look at my backyard in Arizona, and they hired Steve Wilkes for a year.
Yes.
They drafted a quarterback. They realized after 1 year this wasn't the right fit. You know, this wasn't the right place. They went out and got a new quarterback, and they went out and got a new coach. And now look where they're at and what they're doing in a short period of time. So just to your point, how do you know? I don't know, but you have that feel. And if it's the wrong decision, are you willing to go out and say, I made the wrong decision. We need to right that wrong and move forward?
Reason why we're all laughing is we thought you meant his literal backyard.
Yeah, with a, like football field with turf in the backyard. That's what we thought you were going to go. He's got a football field in his backyard.
Well, again, in all honesty,
they can come to my backyard. Come on.
Last week against Philly, they were dialing up all sorts of crazy plays. It wasn't like that they just went vanilla with 5 or 6 plays. Seriously, like, and the players were playing their hearts out in a way that we hadn't seen the previous week. So I'm trying to give you emotional support, just like Champ. I'm like the human champ right here for you, Irv. Before I doom your team in the 4th hour. That'll be fantastic. Chris Godwin is expected to go tonight. How about that? That's a conundrum for many fantasy team owners out there. Do you play him? Do you sit him out during the early day? Maybe he doesn't go tonight because Michael Thomas is going. T.Y. Hilton.
We're not talking enough about Michael Thomas.
Sooner rather than later.
We're not talking enough about him.
Oh, gosh, there's Kurt's backyard. That's it. Huh?
There we go.
That's not a park. That's not a...
Yeah, everybody's got one of those.
All the Cowboys can come to my backyard. We can play the ball.
My gosh.
Yeah, Dak got one of those in his backyard, too. Who does? Dak.
Oh, so they don't need to come to Arizona?
No, he means this backyard. This is the backyard.
Oh, yeah, that guy can come to my backyard.
The actual spot in Arizona where Tua and Kyler are going at it. Steve Mariucci's going to have his Mooch's Cardio, a.k.a. Mooch's Minute, coming up.
Work. We're here for football. Oh, wait. It's going to be a good one.
Well, these Bills are 6-2. They're pretty darn good. Are these Bills for real?
Yeah, these guys are for real. I mean, you turn on the tape.
Ball comes out, loose ball. It is Buffalo ball.
I'm old school Mooch. You turn on the tape, you get to see how fast they fly around, how they make plays. They're definitely doing that. It's a great football team. It's going to be a great matchup. 2 great football teams going back and forth, back and forth. We're looking forward to the challenge.
That'll be later on. Think your kid has what it takes to be the next NFL Play 60 Super Kid? Of course you do. Submit a video of your child telling us how they live the Play 60 lifestyle and how then they'll be entered for a trip of a lifetime to Super Bowl Double Nickel. Visit NFL.com/Play60 contest for more information. Now, let's take a look at how this week started in the NFL.
Here we are. It's a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game.
Rodgers lofts it deep down the left side. Adams makes the adjustment. Touchdown! Oh, what a catch!
Everybody knows he's going to be the guy, and they still can't stop him.
Mullins hit as he throws the left side. It is intercepted. Rodgers fakes the handoff. Mercedes Lewis, touchdown. Rodgers rainbows down the middle. Got MVS. Touchdown!
I think he's having fun. Yeah, I'll say so.
Snap to Mullins. Hit from behind. It looks like it's Green Bay ball. It is. The Packers going to win just what the doctor ordered. The game was really never in doubt.
Feels great to win. Feels good to be 6-2 at the halfway point, first in the division.
All right, it's time now for the Lowe's Home Studio, guys. I ask you, as we're sitting by our cozy fire, how does it feel?
It's warm.
I'm going to start with you, Irv. Who is the best team in the NFC?
Man, you know, it's hard to pick anyone other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. And we're talking about what we see them do right now and what I'm projecting them to do when they get that asset that they're starting with today. You guys didn't hear something when they gave that report. Antonio Brown said, oh, he's one of my best friends. I was like, man, that was quick to become a best friend. But what it says is the commitment he has to Tom Brady. So this team, Tampa right now, who's best at stopping the run, and right now, 4th and 31 points per game, getting that asset to be added, I'd say they're the best team, and they're getting better. That's the scary part.
And we're using the term team, right? It's complete team. Because I look at Seattle, and I still believe Seattle's the best offense. Russell Wilson's playing unbelievable. Wide receivers are playing great. But we know what's happening on the other side. And I look at all the teams in the NFC, and I go, okay, nobody has a really good 2 sides of the ball, right? Where they're dominant on both sides of the ball. So I still believe that Tom Brady and company have a ways to go offensively. They're not hitting on all cylinders offensively. AB will help as they try to figure that out. But because of that defense and what the defense can do stopping the run, what they can do making plays on the back end, even though they're young, they're the most complete team right now with an offense that I believe will only get better, Coach. So I've got to agree with you. Even though there's some better parts out there for other teams, most complete team is Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I agree that they are, and they're getting better. But they do have a couple of losses, right, guys? I mean, you're talking about Seattle, who I think probably is the best team. They only have one loss, and it's an overtime loss to the Cardinals. But you got an offense that is dynamic. Yes, their defense in Seattle isn't what it needs to be. However, you're getting back Jamal Adams, all right?
And you got that man back there.
Carlos Dunlap was traded for, so he'll alternate in as a pass rusher. They're trying to get better on defense, so they're having to outscore everybody. But right now, you're talking about probably those two teams, Seattle and the Bucs. You know, Packers looking in, but the Bucs really dominated the Packers last time they played, right, guys?
I mean, Seattle, you know, Russell Wilson, if there is a way that you can stop Seattle, Russell will find a way to make something happen. That gives them just a little edge. Like, okay, if we can get to Tom Brady, we can shut all this down. We can shut it all down. But Russell